Hey there Maharanis, it's Poonam here from the Maharani Diaries and welcome to another YouTube episode. I'm so excited to be talking to you about this particular topic because it's one that I feel so passionate about. But before I dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to see me here every week. Give this video a thumbs up if you love it and let me know in the comments below if there are any big takeaways for you. Just a little backstory about myself and my experience and why I love talking about wedding trends. In my early days, I used to collect a lot of Indian and Western bridal magazines, interior decorating magazines, fashion magazines, and so much more. I started to follow wedding industry professionals' work such as Colin Cowie, Karen Tran, Preston Bailey, and Cece. Just to gain an understanding about weddings and events, I also bought and borrowed books from the library. For example, Martha Stewart, Amy Atlas, Tori Spelling. I even bought Tori Spelling's party planning book. I also attended tons of events in Melbourne. And with Melbourne being the events capital of Australia, there's literally no shortage of events to attend. So there was Melbourne Fashion Week, Melbourne Food and Wine Festival, Melbourne International Flower and Garden Show, and Moomba. Gosh, so many events to attend and be inspired by. One of the highlights, of course, was volunteering at some of these major events. True story, I was this close to rubbing shoulders with Nicole Kidman and Hugh Jackman. All this because I was so inspired by the beauty and the glamour of the wedding and event industry. I loved how stylists and designers could transform a space. And my eyes would light up and my jaw would drop because I was in awe of how awesome it was to be around these creatives and to learn from them. So as you can tell, this is my jam. Without keeping you on the edge of your seat, I'm going to get straight into it. The first thing is personalization and individualization. Whilst this topic is about trends, I think you need to understand the importance of also not getting too caught up. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to follow these trends. This is why I love the idea of personalization. I love when couples like to choose adventure and celebrate their own personal love story. It's so important to achieve the right balance whilst still respecting traditions and your heritage. Next is sustainable weddings. I think as an industry, we are moving more toward the trend of promoting sustainability, and this can only be a good thing. Whilst expenditure has increased, couples are now becoming more mindful of the environment around them and their impact. They're now trying to find ways in which to reduce their carbon footprint, which is great. So take our Indian weddings, for example. 3 to 4 days of non-stop events and so many mouths to feed. But how can you perhaps ensure that nothing goes to waste? One thing perhaps to consider here is to donate the food to charities, but there are a few legalities involved here and hopefully that changes. As for florals, I know how big florals are in our weddings these days. For instance, if you're having floral centerpieces, you could perhaps ask your guests to take them home at the end of the reception. My husband and I made sure that our MC made an announcement at the end of the reception so that none of the floral centerpieces would go to waste. If you're not inclined to have a wedding cake, for example, what about opting for mini cupcakes or a dessert station, or perhaps eliminating the dessert option on the menu altogether and just serving the cake? it may actually be more cost effective for you in that way. I've attended so many weddings too where the bomboniere, also known as wedding favour, was left on the table at the end of the reception. So does that tell you something? Unless you're choosing something really classy or like a charitable donation to your favourite charity, then I think you really need to think about this carefully. Next on the list is going big and bold. On one hand, there's minimalism, and on the other, it's all about creating maximum impact. More is more in this instance. South Asian weddings have come a long way in recent years. They're opting away from the traditional white tablecloths and choosing to layer their tablescapes with lots of textures and beautiful little intricate elements. There's now a combination of florals paired with different sort of metallic elements. I'm also seeing a lot of big and bold colour palettes. Think ombre, rainbow, or hot pink. Also, we can't forget Pantone's colour of the year, which is classic blue. And so I personally would actually love to see more classic blue at our South Asian weddings. I'm going to quote one of my favourite wedding planners out there right now, Andrea Eppolito, who used the term colour saturation. Colour saturation is all about using one colour and combining it with different accents. So one colour but in various shades in the one space. We could definitely see more over-the-top installations, and also mood lighting is probably going to be big. Mood lighting can set the mood and theme and the ambience of your wedding. So think opulent chandeliers, fairy lights, beautiful candelabras, both indoor and outdoor. Speaking of outdoor weddings, I can definitely see that being a big trend this year as well. Going on with the big and bold theme, it would be great to create an experience for your guests. Say, for example, as they enter your wedding or reception event, they see this beautiful flower wall with champagne glasses attached to them, and each champagne glass has a tag with your name and your table number. So that would be your little escort card to let you know, okay, so this is the table that I'm on. Focus on that one thing that you want to stand out in order to create that Instagram-worthy moment. Next point, live entertainment. Whether it's 1 or 2 or 10 door players, a Bollywood dance group, a live brass band, or classical musicians, it's all going to be about creating that multi-level experience for your guests. Your DJ will obviously close out your reception, but having this entertainment in between to keep your guests engaged is really going to be big this year. It's going to make your event more lively and so much more fun. Aside from music, I also envisage couples going for interactive entertainment. For instance, ice cream carts, gelato carts, dosa station, pyrotechnics, champagne towers. The possibilities are endless. Leading on from that, sophisticated catering. Across all events, the way caterers choose to serve their food, I can definitely see that changing. Couples are now open to having different types of cuisines and different flavours at their weddings. This goes without saying actually in Australia, because we don't always have a choice when it comes to having South Asian food at our wedding or events. The other thing is, of course, certain venues are not open to external catering. For the engagement or pre-wedding events, I can see couples opting for canapé style serving and Plated meals will be reserved for the wedding and the reception events. So move away from the boring butter chicken and opt for like different flavors and mix it up. Also be inclusive and cater to all dietaries. As we mentioned before, interactive food stations are going to be bigger and better. So think donut wall, cupcake station, dessert platter, grazing station, champagne towers, as I mentioned, signature cocktail. There's so many options here. In terms of wedding cakes, I think couples are paying more attention now to the look and feel of their cake, as well as the taste. Work with your cake decorator to create layers of different flavors. You can also infuse colors from your wedding. I'm not saying every single color, but certain colors into the design of the wedding cake. And lastly, fashion. We know how much our brides and grooms love to splurge on their wedding attire. Brides are now becoming more fashion conscious. Social media influencers and Bollywood movie stars are really influencing our decisions before we make a purchase. Custom bridal wear and groom's wear is becoming increasingly popular. Whether it's a custom tuxedo or a sherwani suit or a designer bridal lehenga. Perhaps work with your designer to add little bits that will make it look and feel the way you want it to on your wedding day. Wow, that was a lot, right? I barely touched the surface. Be sure to follow me on Pinterest and Instagram as well if you love keeping up to date with all the latest trends. Hopefully we can inspire you over there as well. You'll find these links as well as a link to my free wedding planning checklist in the description below. If you loved this video, I'm inviting you to leave a comment below as well and let me know what your thoughts are on this year's hottest trends. I hope these tips were super useful and I cannot wait to see you again here on the Maharani Diaries. Bye for now.